the nervous one, like this one, like the Tinder one. Is this the Tinder? The naughty one, we'll not say Tinder. Hi, I'm Graeme Thomas King, and I play Jeremy Beckett on Pretty Little Lies, the Perfectionists, and I'm here at 17 to tell some stories, embarrassing stories with emojis. This happens all the time. These two guys came up to me and started talking to me for like 5 minutes, generally thinking I was Eddie Redmayne. They were telling me about all the films that they loved, like Danish Girl and like all his early work. For me, they were kind of cornering me in, so there was like one, and they were quite big guys as well, and they were like cornering me in, so I couldn't go anywhere. But that happens quite a lot, but they talked to me like 5 minutes about Eddie's early work and sort of the Danish Girl and Fantastic Beasts. For a little bit I didn't have the heart to tell them that I wasn't him, but we had a really good laugh of it after, and they were incredibly embarrassed. And they still asked for a photo at the end, so I'll take that. I think it would be terrible for my career if I pretended to be Eddie Redmayne. Maybe I should, it might get me a role in like a new film or something like that, but no, I'm very quick to laugh it off. I mean, I do for a little bit. I mean, he's won an Oscar, so I mean, get compared to him initially, I feel quite starstruck a little bit, like, yeah, you know. I've never met Eddie Redmayne. I would love to meet Eddie Redmayne. I do cry a bit inside that I have actually seen him in London. This was before I started acting. I saw him in London and he looked absolutely fabulous. But that's before I really knew who he was. I don't know what I would say to him. I met him, I play it very cool, I think, and tell him I'm an actor as well. Did you know that? Definitely tell him all the funny stories that like people have come up to me, and the stuff that people say to me when they come up to me. Another party, very drunk individual, Australian guy came up to me and like put his arm around me. He was like, "Oh mate, I loved you in Harry Potter," and I think he'd like that one. I had one quite recently, actually. It was a date in London. This is usually quite awkward for me because I never just go in for the kiss. I do sort of a very, very English thing. I usually ask if it's okay to kiss the person, which is, I suppose, quite sweet. But it's usually a bit embarrassing because I've then told my, female friends, and they're like, "Don't do that, that's so weird, just kiss them if you want to kiss them." But no, I was brought up as a good boy by my mummy to respect people, so I'm going to continue asking, but it's usually very embarrassing when it happened, and it happened recently. Of course she said yes. I saw Ralph Fiennes in Dwayne Reed. If you don't know, he was Voldemort in Harry Potter, and I'm a huge fan of Ralph Fiennes, and I followed him round the Dwayne Reed, and he was literally buying toilet paper. And so he had about this like 12 pack of toilet paper. I played it very cool and waited for him outside the Dwayne Reed. Yeah, I was very starstruck, and like, he's a very good looking man and he's quite tall, but I waited outside of Dwayne Reed and it was snowing. It was like a blizzard. And I can't even remember what I said. I bumbled something out. I was like, "Are you Ralph Fiennes?" I said. I was like, "That's so silly. Of course he's Ralph Fiennes." And he went, "Yes." And we had this sort of awkward impasse. We stood there carrying toilet paper, and I said, "Well, I love you, Ralph Fiennes. I think you're great." And he went, "Cheers." That was pretty much it. And he walked round the corner and went back to his apartment. I should have pretended to be Eddie Redmayne when I met Ralph Fiennes out with Dwayne Reed carrying his toilet paper. I think it would have gone down a lot better than how it did go down, which was very brief and very sort of anticlimactic, I must say. I think they would have sweetened the deal a little bit, He might have cast me in one of his plays. It wasn't a crush so much. Again, at a party, I seem to go to a lot of parties, and I'm always like with my arms like going up and down, and I went like this, and I turned around and I hit someone's wine. It was red wine, and it was this beautiful girl, like a suit basically, this white suit, and it was Anne Winters from 13 Reasons Why, and it was even more horrifying because her boyfriend was standing next to her. and he was quite an intimidating looking chap. I thought he was going to hit me at one point. I do that sort of stuff quite a lot, but that was quite bad. I did an April Fool's thing where I posted that I'd been cast in the new Fantastic Beasts film across Eddie Redmayne, and I posted this picture of Eddie Redmayne as Newt Scamander, in which he looks quite a lot like me. It went down an absolute storm. Like, I just did an interview and the interviewer asked me, "Are you excited for your new role in Fantastic Beasts?" So slightly embarrassing. I wasn't expecting people to fall for that such hook, line and sinker. Yeah, absolutely hilarious that people think that if I did get cast across from Eddie Redmayne in a Fantastic Beasts film, I would post a picture of him on social media with like a wand in his hand. I think that would be a bit weird to you. So. The second to last, or the 8th episode, I had to be very, very angry, but I had to drive my super, super cool car. It was like an Audi. It's like a brand new Audi A6 or something like that. It was absolutely crazy. That was awesome. In the first interview that I did during the pilot, I literally gave away all the spoilers, literally all of them, whilst it was being interviewed by, I think, a freeform guy, and I don't think the interview actually made it to the edit because I literally gave away all the spoilers. I was so nervous. I was terrified. I didn't know what to say. So yeah, it didn't make it in, and I was very annoyed at myself. During the pilot, the scene that actually made it, I'm like shirtless and in bed with Caitlin and I'm taking a coffee. Like, there was a really long walk from the kitchen to the bed. It was a really, really awkward walk. The director kept telling me that I was walking really strangely for someone. I was like walking like a cowboy. So I literally had to walk with these coffee cups over to the bed, and it took forever, and there was just this like dead silence throughout the crew. She literally said, "Why are you walking so weirdly?" Do I walk weirdly? She was like, "Yeah, walk normally." So I hope that footage never sees the light of day, because I don't want to see that, and I don't think anyone else needs to see that, walking like John Wayne. I always get very nervous before auditions. I'm a terrible auditioner. But anyway, I went up for a role, this very sort of almost privileged character, you know, like Upper West Side, Upper East Side character. Right before, I think a day before the audition, my agent called me and was like, "They're recasting that when they're going in a completely different direction. We want you to go in for this other role. He's a nightclub bouncer and he's a boxer. That's about as far away from my personality as you're ever gonna get." And also I had to do, I had to do a Queen's accent. Like a Queen's accent. It was actually one of the best auditions that I've ever done, because I gave no tosses whatsoever. Didn't get it, obviously, but like, you know, I rolled up my sleeves. I thought I was a character from On the Waterfront or something, you know, and I went in there and it went really well, but I didn't get it. So that was quite embarrassing to like initially go in with this accent to like, I'm from like Queens, New York sort of thing, you know. And they're like, "What are you doing?" Thank you for watching, everyone. Be sure to tune in to The Perfectionists, which is on every Wednesday night, freeform, 8 PM. It's getting very interesting at the moment. For more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to 17's YouTube channel. Thank you so much.